Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and we're back with another episode of One Punch Man, episode 7. The last, my last review for the last episode, one of the viewers pointed out that we're at the 7th episode and we've not actually seen Saitama a whole lot, right? And while it didn't occur to me initially when I thought about it, I realized that he's right. We're 6 episodes in and we've not actually seen him engage in a fight. There was a little altercation with Blizzard earlier on, but he wasn't involved in the fight. He didn't fight her really, and Genos was taking care of Sweeter Son Sonic, so he didn't fight him either, right? So I mean it's a bit of that Superman complex, They had to do something similar in the DCEU by killing Superman off so that they could leave room for the other characters to actually be fleshed out a bit more. Otherwise, Superman could just come in and everyone would be wondering where is Superman, and he'd have to come in and just kill everyone and defeat them within seconds, right? And it's something similar here. So they've sidelined him quite a bit because I suspect that with the introduction of Garo, we needed time to be introduced to Garo and for Garo's character to be fleshed out a bit more. And I mean, he encountered Saitama, and Saitama defeated him within a few seconds. So if Saitama was still around doing his usual thing, their paths would have crossed, and he would have defeated him. So they sidelined him a bit, put him in the tournament, pretending to be Charanko so he could get money, which is a good enough reason for him. It's within Saitama's character. So that we have time enough to develop Garo's character. And I've already said that at the end of this, I do believe Garo will be joining Saitama. Similar to what Blizzard was trying to do, form her own little syndicate made up of Class B and C heroes. Saitama is unintentionally developing his own little group, right? And it says Blizzard realized later on that he attracts people who are strong. So eventually, I believe Garo will be someone who joins Saitama as well. For the time being, I mean, the introduction of the Monster Association has definitely given us a lot to focus on while Saitama is out of the picture for a bit. Now, we were introduced to Orochi last episode, and he's the head of the Monster Association. Although he's not, at first glance, he's not what I imagined, and I could be wrong. But I don't believe that he is the actual face of the Monster Association. I could be wrong, but this season has been a whole lot to move us away from monsters who rely on just pure brawn and physical strength to actually win. And we've seen a lot of strategy being demonstrated with the monsters here. And Orochi, he's towering and looks powerful, but doesn't strike me as a strategist or anything like that. And that little smaller monster with the tentacles on his head looks eerily familiar. I've been trying to place it, and this is One Punch Man. A lot of the fodder monsters that get killed, all of them often look very similar. But this guy that we saw in introduction to Orochi last episode, he looked very similar to one of the monsters that was on Boros' ship, right? Could be someone different, so I could be wrong there. But I'm very excited. Saitama is about to start his match with his name Suryu, something like that, who's the favorite to win the tournament. And so this may be the first time that we get to actually see Saitama fight. So I'm definitely looking forward to this. All right, so let's check it out. Still have their main forces in reserve, so where are they getting all these monsters from? Only 4 left. As heroes. Yeah, I'm sure you did. Lay your guard down. Your skill.
なんかいい先輩みたいになってきたけど
Forgot Garo was actually looking for this guy. We never actually got to see his abilities in season 1, even though he was there. Oh, damn it. Iron
やめ
Mask.
ろみんなを離せこの犬マンガだ
あんた生き物じゃないわね。
バレた
Not
か
gonna lie.
じゃあはい自爆
Dogs or something that you can eat or something like that.
大丈夫だ。彼らが動き出した。怪人どもが大量に湧いて出ている。
He looks
しかしヒ
different.
ーロー協
Didn't
会
he
は
have
情
a
報不足だ。
humanoid form last time?
あらゆる苦痛を与えられて死ぬか、知っている情報をすべて吐いて楽に死ぬかだ。
This seems very
見つけたわ。
Child
ロ
Emperor.
ボットの
Child
操
Emperor
縦
isn't
者はあん
actually
ただね。
physically destroying my backpack. What would that have helped? Not even sure how he's number 5. Big God.
豚神さん猛毒が今助ける
The hell? He's eating gluttony from Full Metal Alchemist. So I'm assuming that the poison probably won't have any effect on him at all.
皇帝から結成データが届きました。準決勝第2試合、このカードは大注目です。必要に相手選手の人体破壊を楽しんできた超絶先祖代々
He's talking
優
way
秀
too
な遺伝
much.
子のみ
Usually
を
when they
掛け合わ
start
せ作られて
running
きた
their
選
mouth
ば
like
れ
this,
し
they
たる。
don't usually
中でも
last.
私は過去
So he's
最高
gonna be
傑
out
作
one punch.
ピークは世界を支配する。
大げさなやつだな。
Very.
トウモロコシの品種改良みたいなもんだろう。
Yeah.
またしても一撃。
Call it.
チャランコ選手無傷で決勝し。
Next.
愛知の A 級ヒーローたちからの連絡が途絶えています。分かった。至急 S 級の誰かを待ってくれ。
半端な戦力が戦ったところで余計に被害が拡大するだけだ。
That's rank 13. Actually, several A classes can be equivalent to an S class. You know, however low rank that might be, but it can still be useful. Of course.
聞いたか。傷口に当たっただけだ。
Yeah, another one.
S 級ならもう少しマシな働き見せなさ
He's
いよ。
always insulting someone.
た使えないんだから。
なんだ。お前らの喧嘩に巻き込むな。
余計なこと。
ヒーローは
問題ない怪人などいくらでも作れる
How are you managing that though?
その
Yeah, we
野郎
haven't
は
seen
今
Garo this
シル
entire
バーファン
episode
グが
except
起き
for
る
when he was walking towards Watchdog Man.
シルバーファングはガロ甘さが出るかもしれんそこで俺たち県政会が奴より先にガロを見つけ出し
Is that coming? Is
主がそこまでするとはよほどのことわかった門弟を走らせよう天晴れ何よりには必ず
いつから仲良しクラブになったのだ。
always
県
that
政
one
会
dude.
は
腹切る
怪人細胞。これを体内に取り入れれば人間の
Oh,
限
so
界を
that's
超えた
how
力が手に入る。
so
指定された怪人
and I kind of
協
hinted
会
at that
っていうの
from
がある。
season
そこに
1.
声を
Season
かけられ
1,
てな。
or the crab guy, but he
人
said
間
he
をやめる
ate
と
too
機械
much
に入会した。
lobster. Isn't that kind of turning your back on what it used to get you to begin
お
with?
主らも怪人になれ。
落ちぶれ
者には死んでもらう。
残念だ
いや
Oh,
残
it
念
is
だ
a
がア
Thomas
トミック
He
侍。
looked different. I don't know that. He's dead. The potential to become a real problem because now they don't just have monsters to worry about, but humans turning into
攻撃劣勢
monsters.
のチャランコ選手。以上からも大物クロアズを期待する空気が伝わってきます。しかしそうはさ
Yeah,
せない
finally
の
gets to
こ
see
の
Saitama
男。
fight this season.
彼が
まさか面に気づいたんじゃ。
さあ勝つのはどっちだ。おっと笑みを浮かべる水流選手。
Seems to be on the look. He's an idiot though, so
チャランコ君楽しもう。
始め。さあついに始まる。わわ
Does he know who he is and he's trying to knock off the wing
決
to
勝だから
reveal?
様子見ようと思う。
連続蹴りがすぐ寸止めだ。チャランコ選手は頭部をガードすることし。
君強いんだろ。わかるよ。俺も強いからね。
Are you
面飛ばし
strong
に来てたわけじゃないのか。
君はどうしてこの大会に出場したんだ。ちなみに俺は賞金
though?
目
Yeah,
当
that's
て。
why he's there
そ
too.
れは俺も欲しい。
その過程が楽しいからね。
楽しいか。
ああ、強いのは楽しい。
なるほどな。したらすぐ試合が終わっちゃうからさ。
あいつら何話してんだ。
きっと決勝までの人知れない過酷な道のりだ。
Sure.
わかった。じゃあこういうのはどうかな。俺が武術を体験させてやる。だから君も頑張って。行くぞ。
One thing is this guy is modeled after Bruce Lee. It's starting to feel like a tournament fight from Dragon Ball.
したぜ。マジでカツラ取れるかと思った。
いいね。そうでなくちゃ。
を見てみな。ずっと足技しか
But at the same time, Saitama is
自
not
らに制限を課して
isn't
遊ん
using
でやがる。
anything.
それって
まだ。
That's interesting. That's the first time we've actually seen Saitama back
シ
up.
ランは何やってるの？
普段散歩したり怪人倒したり。
え？怪人と戦ってるの？あ、君もヒーローなんか目指してるのか。あの業界はろくなもんじゃないと思うよ。職業でやってる割に善行とか正義とか恩着せがましいし、あんなレベルの人たちがどれだけ頑張っても的な正義感、俺の求めている楽しい人生にはむしろ退屈の元になる不純物かな。君も
For the
君を認めてるからこそアドバイスしてあげたんだけど。
dodge.
推理って言ったっけ？
You
これからも
serious?
一つアドバイスしてやる。
Is this it?
楽しむのが目的なら。あぶねえ、つい癖で。またすぐ終わっちまうところだ。
カツラの着用が
Oh,
発
his
覚
hair
してし
just
まいまし
fell
た。
out during the fight from
あっと
stress
ここで
during the
レ
fight.
フェリーが動きます。これはまさか。
That's very interesting that you can clearly see his face, but he's pretending to be someone else.
カツ
So
ラ
I
も被り物と判断します。やって。
think Surya will be happy either winning by disqualification.
お前若くしてそんな悩みを抱えていたのか。
Idiots.
いや、なる。
Dude, you're it.
俺の本気をまだちゃんと見せてなかったよな。
Winchester. That body trying to drag on Shall attack.
あの極端な踏み込み殺す気だ。逃げろ。
Did you get him?
かっこいいものだな。
He's right though. I mean, after doing all of that spinning and special, yeah, absolutely right. Knock out by blood attack.
負け
He's not out though. It's still impressive.
初めて。
Performance.
敵の中に明らかにレベルの違う怪人がいる。
This is someone else. Alright, there we have it. Episode 7. A lot of interesting events happening here. Or outside of Saitama's fight, we had the introduction of monster cells. And I mentioned earlier this season that I didn't particularly think Garo was very strong, even before he encountered Saitama and got his ass kicked. But this might actually be something that evens the playing field, and he has been saying all along that he wants to be a monster, so I believe that he'll probably face off against Silver Fang, against Bang and Bomb, and probably lose. And in some way he'll come. The monsters already tried to contact him, even though he declined to join them. I think he's going to come in contact with the monster cells and get a hell of a lot stronger, and be able to pose a more of a threat, and that Saitama will have to intervene and stop him. right? But that definitely makes it a bit more interesting. I've been wondering where the hell are all these monsters coming from, right? But and Orochi says that he can produce as much as they need, which means they're actually turning humans into monsters. Some of them willingly turning into monsters, as we saw with the swordsman there. But Atomic Samurai is on the case now. He realizes the threat, because this is a real threat. If the very people that you're fighting to protect can become the threat, then that kind of questions everything that you're actually fighting for. So this is something that they have to deal with like swiftly. So I don't know if Atomic Samurai alone and his team are enough to take out Orochi. I'm assuming that he's very strong. So it introduces another layer to One Punch Man, one that honestly I didn't see coming. To be honest, even though I enjoyed One Punch Man season 1, I enjoyed it for the action, right, and not so much for the storytelling. And this isn't the most intricate storytelling either, but at the same time, this season seems to be adding a few more layers to make the story a bit more interesting, with martial arts versus just pure physical strength, and now with monster cells, which makes it a lot more difficult to save someone who may very well doesn't want to be saved, and may choose the monster side versus choosing to remain human, right? So it adds another layer of to the story, and makes it a lot more interesting. It's very interesting. Saitama's fight, of course, against Suryu, very very hilarious. I don't know, Saitama wasn't really having any trouble, right? In that fight, Suryu was definitely able to keep up with him, or at least I don't think Saitama was trying, but at the very least more so than the other participants, right? He was able to keep up with him. He was able to land attacks on him, however ineffective they were. He was still able to actually land attacks and take them too, because even though it was a butt attack, it was still an attack from Saitama, and he still managed to take it and actually still be around. So Saitama's been discovered, and realized he's not Sharanku anymore. He's been disqualified. So I imagine that's the end of his his Superman problem, and he's going to be able to come back into the picture now that the greater threat has arrived. In what is it, Benki right there, the last monster that they showed. So he's out. I imagine Suryu, after taking that loss, will probably, I don't know, he looks down on the heroes, or at the very least he doesn't see himself ever becoming a hero. Even though, irrespective of his strength, right? I think he doesn't have any motivations, and what drives most of the heroes are, they're motivated to actually help people, right? Or fame. Some of them actually do it for fame and money, and research and experimentation and funding and stuff like that. So there are a lot of reasons that they do it for. So he actually, his reasons for not wanting to be a hero kind of fall in line with a lot of the heroes already, because most of them, especially the S classes, a lot of them don't really give a damn. They're just there, right? And show up whenever they feel like showing up. Some of them are actual fakes. So I don't know. I think eventually he will also reach a turning point where he, maybe chasing after Saitama, because he will go in search to find out who exactly Saitama really was. It's obviously not Sharanku anymore. And he will, like Genos, probably chase after Saitama for strength and find himself becoming a hero, or finding a reason to want to become a hero. So I believe eventually he will come around. We didn't get much Garo in this episode. We saw him, attempt to take on Watchdog Man, but the fight was interrupted. Same for Genos. We only saw him briefly at the end there. He got his ass kicked by the cockroach from Terraformers, and he's a mess, right? And he has to go and get repaired before he can really do anything. But luckily, some of the other S-Class heroes have arrived on the scene. Tornado, Amai Masker, unwillingly. Someone interrupted his concert, so that's one reason he even intervened. A lot of the S-Class heroes have now, they're aware of the situation and they're on the scene and ready to fight. So hopefully Genos can get back into the game pretty quickly. Alright, so be sure to post on the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on this episode. Hit like or subscribe, and I will see you guys for the next one.